Good evening, good evening. How are we doing, guys? Peace and blessings upon everybody. How was your week? I was frozen in my thoughts. Casual blazer. This is from a company called Albert Clothing. It was actually a full suit, but today I'm wearing it in a more casual way. How is everybody? I just concluded a training in the top 3% community on style and combining different colors. So if you want some style advice, guys, I would highly recommend joining the community. We host 3 different calls in there every single week. So you guys are missing out. If you're not a part of the community, you are seriously missing out. Tons of value packed in there. When you join, guys, you have a one-to-one coaching call with me, so we can identify what your goals are and how we can help you achieve them. So let me put the link in there, guys. Did I go to fashion school? No, I didn't go to fashion school. But I have developed a great, I believe, a great sense of style. In fact, the first job that I had, I take that back. The first job that I had was for a UK clothing company called Charles Tyrwhitt. This was like 10 years ago. And they taught me a lot about style and menswear. And ever since, I have aspired to dress the best that I possibly can. Tarek says, have you lost money from the stock market lately due to America? Well, I don't trade stocks. I trade currencies. And the great thing is there's a lot of volatility. So there's great opportunities, even right now, amongst all the chaos with tariffs and everything. That's the great thing about Forex, is it's not really affected by things like that. As long as you have a good strategy and a good approach, you're good to go. You can make some money. Hey, Ali, I'm 18 and I keep failing maths like 3 or 4 times. Do you believe everything is written? Also, how to dominate getting girls when you're young. Is it about money? Well, if you keep failing at maths, maybe maths isn't your thing. Just putting it out there. It could be that, or you could not be preparing very well. I mean, there's several possibilities. I don't know how you're approaching things every day. I don't know what your studying schedule looks like. But it could be a variety of different things. What's up, brother? I recently relapsed 3 times after 5 months. How do I get back on track? By not crying about it. Who gives a fuck? 3 times in 5 months is better than 3 times every day for 5 months. You know what I mean? So look, I don't keep track of shit like that. You know, I think it just creates unnecessary pressure when you start tracking how many days has it been. Just don't think about the days. Just tell yourself, I refuse to wank all over myself. That's a good thing to say to yourself, right? I'm a man of value. I'm a man who can attract a beautiful woman. I don't need to play around with my own willy, right? As long as you say that to yourself and you adopt that as a new philosophy going forward, then, you know, even if you slip up occasionally, who cares? Just don't let that event sadden you and keep you away from doing the things that you know you should be doing for several days because you're so upset that you relapse. Who gives a fuck, man? Get back on track the next day. A new day is ahead. Don't worry about it. Yeah, the word wanning does not seem so good, and don't fall under the slang of honing, a damn Gen Z slang. And you don't want to be a little... What the hell? No idea what you're trying to say there, but we use that word in the UK. Okay? It's a funny word, wanking. Don't wank all over yourself. It's not a Gen Z word. That word's existed for the longest time here in the UK, right? The thing is, it helps to find the humor in the situation. You know, the reason why my NoFap videos have done really well is because I've taken the piss out of the activity. It's a dumb thing to do, right? You know, I made a video once where I said something along the lines of, imagine you're in a dark room. Your laptop is open. You've got 25 tabs. You're flicking in between the tabs, trying to find a perfect scene. In between the video, there's a period where the screen goes black and you can see your own reflection. And there you are, like the hunchback of Notre Dame. Terrible posture, dry lips. You catch your own reflection in the laptop. Then you proceed to bust nuts all over yourself. Imagine there was a camera in a corner of the room recording you as you did that. How empowered would you feel about what you just did? Would you want the world to know? Would you be happy to show that clip to your family, to your friends? I mean, it's a terrible thing to consider, right? I mean, it's funny to say this, but when you look at it that way, you think, yeah, it's such a low energy, low fucking caliber thing to do. On NoFap, the mental clarity is so much better, helping so much see the charts on the market much faster and clearer. Well, that's one of the major benefits from NoFap. When you stop busting nuts all over yourself, you can focus. You're no longer your mind is no longer occupied with pornography constantly. You're able to think about your goals in a much clearer way. Your mind isn't very foggy. Is competing about fashion gay or excessive? Compete? I have no idea what you're trying to ask there. Is competing about fashion? I loved your podcast with Marwan. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. He was a great guest to have on board. It was a very valuable podcast there. Yes, Coach Rafaz, how you doing, my brother? It's good to see you here, man. What time are your sessions for the top 3%? So at the moment, we have sessions Monday, Wednesday, and Sunday at 9:30 p.m. UK time, which works pretty well for people not in the UK as well. So guys, listen, we host calls weekly. Monday is the mindset call. Wednesday is the coffee catch-up call in my community. And Sunday is the suit Sunday call. So on Sundays, we talk about fashion. Today's call was around what colors work well together. You can ask me questions on the call. There's members there already as well, asking questions. So it's a great environment to get more of a one-to-one access to me and to some of the other guys as well who are improving themselves, sharing some great nuggets in there as well. So $49, guys. The link is in the chat there if you want to join us for the next call. We have the tomorrow's mindset call. Also, when you join, guys, you get a free 30-minute coaching call with me as well. So as soon as you enroll, just send me a message within the school community, and I'll get that booked in for you guys. Am I married? Not yet, my friend. Not yet. But God willing, it's something that I aspire to do in the near future. It's got to be the right woman. That's why there should be no rush. Ali, do you sell any courses? Well, I have the community at the moment, which is, of course, an environment that you can enroll in to better yourself in terms of your communication style, confidence. I do have a one-to-one Forex program where you can learn how to day trade. So if you'd like to find out more information about that, I can send you some more information. Ali, any advice on staying disciplined with training and diet? I want to achieve my fitness goal. I find it hard whilst working every day. Well, keep your nutrition simple is what I would say. So what do you enjoy eating? And just build your nutrition plan around that. Keep it simple. For example, chicken and rice is pretty simple, and you can do that every day, right? If you feel like you hate cooking every day, then cook on a Sunday evening, cook a few meals for the next 3 days. So you don't have to cook for 3 days. All you have to do is just heat up your food and then maybe cook again on Wednesday. Some people cook for the entire week. and put the rest of the stuff in the freezer. You could do that as well. I just don't like the effort of having to cook like 20 meals in one go. But I can cook for the next 3 days. That's not too time consuming. So, either you save time and you do it that way, or you just keep your meals so simple that you can stick to them every day. Granola, high protein granola, is pretty simple. Add milk to that, or Greek yogurt, for example. So I just create meals that I know I can consume without much effort. Of course, occasionally I like to cook a nice meal for myself, which takes some time. But keep it simple. Hey, sir, how you doing, Jack? How do you get to where you are right now? Well, look, success, as they say, is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Everybody is different. I'm different to somebody else that you may watch on YouTube. That person is different to somebody else. Everybody's different. I wouldn't say that where I am right now is appropriate for everybody, meaning you have your own journey. This journey is something that I've been on for the last 10 years. I really started my self-improvement journey straight after A-levels. And what's got me to the position I'm at right now is my willingness to learn, my willingness to invest in myself. I've never shied away from doing that. I've spent thousands on myself over the years, on going to seminars in the US, Holland, on buying the books, buying the courses. I was never afraid of investing in myself. So that's one thing. I take a lot of risk. When I got into day trading, I was like, what's this Forex stuff? Let me learn about this stuff. I've never been afraid of taking risks. And a big mistake I see a lot of guys making today is they're terrified of changing things up. They're so used to doing things a certain way. They're terrified of changing their career path. They're terrified of the criticism that may arise when their family says, what are you doing? What's this Forex stuff you're doing? Well, YouTube. You want to be a star, do you? You want to create content. You want people to think you're the shit, really? So I was never afraid of that. I just said, fuck it. People advised me back in the day, oh, you're going to regret not taking a degree. I never did. I didn't go to university. I don't have a formal education, but I never regretted not taking a degree because I told myself I'd figure it out eventually. Now, am I where I want to be in life? No, not quite yet. But I'm proud of the way that I, authentically and relentlessly pursue my goals. I'm doing exactly what I want to be doing every single day. And I know that the more valuable I become to the marketplace, the more I will eventually be compensated. That's something I learned from Jim Rohn. I don't worry about, but what's the earning potential? I know the better I become, the more I learn. So that's what I would say. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. As long as you are progressing at something that you deem worthy, you're a success. If you're a teacher that derives a lot of fulfillment from teaching his students, and you're getting better as a teacher every single day, you're a success in my books. It's not about sitting on an orange Lambo in Dubai and saying, I'm the best thing ever. No. Look, the things that come from success, the objects, the cars, the watches, these are consequences of you becoming very valuable to the marketplace. It doesn't mean you're a success. Hi, Ali. Are you self-educated, reading books, etc.? Well, as you can see here, I love reading books. I like listening to audiobooks as I'm driving. I like listening to seminars from people like the late, great Jim Rohn, Bob Proctor, Tony Robbins, Les Brown. I learned a lot of things from my own experience as well, from making mistakes. I wasn't this clued up when I was young. I made a lot of silly mistakes when I was 19, 20, 21, but I had to make those mistakes, right? You can't tread carefully all the time. Sometimes you have to fall flat on your face and learn the hard way. But I would definitely say that I'm someone that goes out there and learns from doing shit the most, but I also learn from other people as well. And I always give them credit. I don't think I invented what I say. I think great leaders always give credit to the people that they learn from. And I've had a lot of indirect and direct mentors over the years, people that I've met myself and people that I haven't met. Ali, what are your thoughts on network marketing? Network marketing is one of those industries that will teach you a lot about sales and communication. But as a business model, in my personal opinion, as somebody who in his late teens, early 20s was drawn into network marketing, it's not a very sustainable business model because you are at the mercy of the owners and what they decide to do. And a lot of the times, these MLMs are quite opportunistic. They take advantage of people who, are very easily drawn into things because of hype. So I would say, look, if you want to get into it, just look into it carefully. Some of the products are garbage, so be careful of that as well. Make sure you're not promoting a crap product. But in general, I would say building your own brand is a far better approach than joining an MLM. If you want to learn how to sell, you can join a proper company that has a wage structure and a commission structure and actually sell the product that way, whether it's a software, SaaS jobs, SaaS, software as a service, or digital marketing or car sales even. I mean, sales will teach you a lot, regardless of what type of sales it is. Is it a bad idea to finance a car young? I would say so, because you don't know what your income is going to look like if you're 19 years old in the next couple of years. So when you finance a BMW 3 Series and you're 19, unless you've got the money to pay for the next 3 years worth of finance ready, I would say be careful. I would much rather, if you were 19, that you bought a car for $5,000 cash, but you have no payments on top of that, than to finance it. What books do you recommend? I mean, there's a lot of books that I would recommend on a variety of different topics. How to Be a 3% Man by Corey Wayne is a great book on relationship dynamics. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill is a great book on money, attracting wealth. The Way of the Superior Man is a great book overall on masculinity. So there's a wide variety of different books. Guys, the community link is in the chat box. Feel free to click on that link. I designed the top 3% community for you guys to receive exclusive access to me. Remember, you have 3 calls a week with me live. You can ask me questions on these calls. Also, when you join, you have a free 30-minute coaching call with me so I can understand what your goals are and I can start working with you on your goals. There's a lot of great members in the community already. We have 13 members in the community already that are also sharing a lot of great value. Members in Morocco, Mexico, in the US. So if you want an environment where there's other like-minded men, it's a great environment to be a part of. And I like to deliver a lot of great value in that community for you guys. So the link to that community is in the chat box. The price for the community may increase in May. So be sure to join now. It's just $49. How would you know you're a good person? That's a good question. By how people feel about you is what I would say. Meaning, if you're a good son, your parents being happy with you, proud of you, is how you know you're a good son, right? Because of the way you make them feel. As they say, when it's all said and done and we're all dead, what we're going to leave behind is the impact we had on other people. The way people talk about you and about how you made them feel is really, a telltale sign as to how they felt about you. And of course, there's going to be people out there that hate on you and will say unnecessary things to trigger you. But haters are always going to exist. But if somebody said, you know what, he's been really impactful, man. He was there for me when I needed it. Right? How they feel about how you showed up. Ultimately, your actions will determine that, will determine the impact you have on other people. For example, your friend needed you in a time where things were going really bad and you were there for him. He will always remember that. He will always remember that. So how you show up in other people's lives. What advice would you give to a 19-year-old in a gap year? Don't worry about figuring out your life's purpose. You've got a lot of time ahead of you. Work, get a job, a 9 to 5. Yes, I said it. Some people won't say this. Some people say, oh, fuck a 9 to 5. You don't need it, man. 9 to 5s are for brokies, whatever. People like that are dishonest and slimy. All right. And they're not grounded in reality. Maybe a lot of them were spoon fed and had a comfortable life. So that's why they've never needed the 9 to 5. A 9 to 5 is necessary in the early stages, unless your parents are mega rich, in which case, great. Take advantage of the opportunity that you have. Don't leech off of your dad. Try and create something of your own. But for the majority of us here, I believe our parents are not mega rich. And so you would need to get a job. And the good thing about getting a job is even in the future, when you open a business of your own, it makes you a better CEO, a better leader, because you were once at the bottom. You know what it was like to have to sweep the floors. You knew what it was like to have to go above and beyond for a customer, to carry yourself under pressure, right? So you're more relatable. Some of these questions are hilarious. Would I ever sell drugs? Absolutely fucking not, is the answer to that. No, no, no. Yo, Ali, big up from the Caribbean, bro. I want to buy a car this year, but nervous about taking my first big loan. Well, if you're nervous, perhaps the loan is too big, right? I mean, or you're not in a stable enough career. Perhaps that's a reason as well. Unless you've been working for the same company for 2 or 3 years, and even then, nothing's guaranteed. But I would always advise that the loan is an amount that you could pay off within a couple of years if you gathered some money, not for an amount. I mean, I know what it's like in the US, for example. I see some of these videos online. Some people in the US pay like $1,200 for a car payment. And I'm thinking, what the fuck are you doing, right? But, you know, if it's an amount that you know you could comfortably afford to pay every month, great. I mean, you know your budget better than I do, right? But if you can buy it cash, I would say buy it cash. It's still better. Maybe it's better to hold off on the loan for the time being until you can pay for it cash. The issue a lot of young guys make is they're not in a stable career and they get a fat loan, and then maybe they change their mind about their job, or they get fired, or they decide to leave, and now it's like, okay, the payments are still going to be there every month. How can I pay for that every month? What skills would you say are important to learn in your 20s? Great question. Sales is an incredibly important skill set to learn. You need to know how to sell, which ties into communication. Now, communication is hand in hand with sales. You need to learn how to communicate effectively in a way that commands respect, in a way that captivates people, right? In a way that triggers an emotion, right? When you become a great communicator, you can make more money in your career. You can become a more dependable person. You can lead an organization. You know, great leaders are great communicators. Also, in the context of a relationship, when you're a great communicator, you have less relationship issues as well, because you know how to communicate your boundaries a lot better in a way that warrants respect as well. There are men out there that when they communicate, nobody respects them. And by the way, I talk about this in my top 3% community. Once again, click on the link in the chat box and be sure to enroll. But you need to learn how to communicate effectively, gentlemen. It's an absolutely vital skill. Another thing I would recommend is learning a high income skill as well, as early as you possibly can. So that could be day trading, for example. It could be, a wide variety of different things. But a high income skill will make you a significant amount of money in the long run. Right? Ali, what did you learn about people that come and go? Well, people come into your life sometimes temporarily to teach you something. In the moment, you may not realize what that lesson is, but when they leave, you realize, you know what? I didn't see it at the time, but this is why I'll never do this again. right? Some people come into your life to teach you what you don't want. For example, women. There might have been a situation with a woman that you were with for a while that now teaches you about what you don't want in a future relationship. Maybe she was hostile, she was rude, she didn't communicate effectively. So when she left, you realized, you know what? I can't tolerate that going forward. In my future relationship, I don't want that. Yes, Abdullah, with the gloves. How you doing, my brother? Good to finally see you on here, man. I've been reading books by Imam Ghazali on disciplining the soul, and a lot of your videos are circled around abstinence, minimalism, self-vigilance, condemnation of pride, all needed. Fantastic, brother. Fantastic. I mean, these are all very good principles to live in a great life. Absolutely. Learning to control your desires and not have them control you. Being self-aware. Self-awareness is a great skill as well, right? Not getting in your own way through limiting beliefs. Ismail, how you doing, brother? I'm in such a shit position right now. What's going on, bro? What's going on? Guys, I know a lot of you want to book a one-to-one coaching call with me. The best way to do that now is to enroll in the community so you don't have to pay full price. Community members get a lifetime 50% discount on my one-to-one coaching calls. It's the best way for me to understand what your situation is in more detail, and I can give you personalized advice on that. For $49, of course, you have the 3 live calls that I do in the community. There's a course on sales in the community as well. My day trading course is available. Of course, that's an extra price. But if you want to learn day trading, that's in the community as well. But for a lot of you guys, I want to speak to you on a more personal basis, which I can't really do on YouTube Live. But at the same time, I think it's a blessing in disguise. Well, there you go. That's a good way of looking at it, man. Sometimes there is a blessing in the misfortune. You might think, man, this is me finished. This is me done and dusted. My life's crap. But in reality, there's a blessing there. And sometimes all it takes is a bit of time to gain perspective. A bit of time to think about what you went through and be like, you know what? That had to happen. That had to happen. I learned something there. I'm from Libya, so I'm North African. And I am Muslim, yes, indeed. How do you attract success? Good question. By becoming the most attractive person you can be. And this doesn't just apply to the way that you look. This applies to the way that you carry yourself, your characteristics. The late, great Jim Rohn used to say, success is looking for a good place to stay. How do you carry yourself? What is your outlook on life? Do you talk negatively to yourself? Are you pessimistic about the future? Because you cannot attract positivity with negativity. A negative life will never give you a positive life. Sorry, a negative mind will never give you a positive life, right? Do you believe that there's an abundance of opportunities? Do you believe that there's an abundance of money out there? So many guys are living in scarcity. They're like, oh my God, but what if I invest in this course? What if I join this membership and I can't make that $50 back? That's a scarcity mindset. You got to believe that there's opportunities everywhere, in every direction. You got to believe you're the man for it. Of course it's me. If not me, then who? This isn't arrogance, it's confidence. We've been taught now that confidence in yourself is a bad thing. Oh, don't get too carried. Don't be too confident in yourself because other people might get upset. Fuck them. If somebody gets upset because you're confident, they're insecure. Your confidence will always agitate insecure people. Absolutely it will. Your courage to go out there and pursue your dreams is going to piss off people that aren't pursuing their dreams, because what you're doing is you'll remind them of their failures. You remind them of the things they're not doing. They're sat on the couch, fidgeting around, getting frustrated because you're out there pursuing your dreams. You're out there doing the things that you know will change your life. So become the best possible version of yourself. Communicate in the best possible way. Be in the best possible shape that you can be. Dress the best possible way that you can be. Right? That's how you attract the best life for yourself, by becoming the best possible man you can be. Ali, with things rapidly changing due to AI, what professions will ultimately survive for us to remain relevant in the job market? Well, look, AI will disrupt a lot of industries, of course. Things that can be done by a computer more efficiently at a cheaper price will be done using AI. However, you cannot replace the human influence. Sales is something that AI will never truly replace. It will significantly support your sales efforts, but human beings still want to be sold to by another human being, which in turn means that if you develop your communication skills, if you know how to sell effectively, you will become an asset even 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 20 years from now. So sales is an incredibly powerful skill that will always be important. Right? Now, I'm no industry expert, so I don't know which industries exactly will disappear in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years. But another great skill is for you to be somebody who's able to identify trends, right? And be someone who's easily able to adjust. That's a great skill to have, when you're somebody that can adjust relatively easily. So this way, you're never devastated when a new trend comes out or a new innovation comes out. You're not like, oh yeah, well, that's my career gone. No, because you're able to identify these trends early, get on those trends and use them for your advantage. I mean, how many of you guys here are actually using ChatGPT effectively? How many? 1 or 2, 3? Properly. I'm not talking about, oh yeah, well, I asked it one question once. I'm talking about really tapping into the technology to help you improve in your career. Right? So identify trends early on and be somebody that can adjust easily. That makes you dangerous. Ali, will I be locked in if I get your course, or will I be able to cancel anytime? The membership is something you can join and leave at any time, guys. I'm not going to lock you in forever. Right? You can join at any moment and you can cancel at any moment. But you'll really like it, is what I would say. You'll really enjoy being a part of the community. We have some incredible lads in there. We have great conversations every single week. One-to-one mentorship. You'll really get your money's worth joining the program, guys. Okay? Have you ever been through poor mental health, and how did you push through? I'll be lying if I said I never had any period in my life where my mental health didn't take a turn for the worse. However, I always ask myself the question, what is the alternative, Ali? Whenever I feel like I'm starting to be negative in the way that I think and I don't quite feel good about how things are going, I always tell myself, what is the alternative? Am I just going to sit here and just be a victim of the circumstance? Or am I going to do something about it? Look, life entails suffering. Every single person here on this call will suffer. That is life. There's the saying, life is fair because it's unfair to everybody. Nobody makes it out alive. So we're all going to get dealt a bad card eventually. But your outlook on the issue will determine whether or not you prolong your suffering or whether or not you're able to grow through your suffering. There's a saying, grow through what you go through. I'm going to say that one more time, guys. Grow through what you go through. I'm going to come out of this stronger. I'm going to come out of this wiser. I'm going to come out of this better. So tell yourself, look, this suffering will count. I will make this count. I'm going to harness this fucking pain that I'm experiencing, and I'm going to level the fuck up in every way possible. I refuse to go through this pain and end up staying the same. I refuse to go through this pain and end up staying the same. I'm going to level up. I'm going to harness this fucking pain that I'm going through. I made a video the other day about breakups, right? It's a very powerful source of energy. If you don't take advantage of it, you would have wasted it. The best thing that can ever happen to a man really is going through a serious breakup. It's the best thing. It's sad in the moment. You cared about this girl. You were emotionally connected to her. But now it's an opportunity for you to tap into this pain to turn your life around. Leverage this pain. Take advantage of it. It will completely transform your life for the better. Well, gentlemen, look, I'm going to shoot off right now. But I want to see some of you guys on the other side in the top 3% community. You can speak to me one-to-one, by the way, with your camera on, with your mic on, when you join in the community. Remember, when you join, you have a free 30-minute coaching call with me so I can have a chat with you, identify what your goals are, help you towards achieving those goals, introduce you to some of the guys in the group as well. You'll really enjoy meeting some of these guys. They're great guys. So just click on the link in the chat box at the top there, school.com. I like the community is called the top 3%. I'd love to see you guys in there and have a chat with you guys and support you towards achieving your goals. Remember, we have 3 live calls every week there. We talk about communication, style, confidence, human psychology, relationship dynamics, fitness, style. So be sure to join the community, guys. I love talking to you guys, and I want to, speak to you guys on a more personal basis. And that's what this community allows us to do. So be sure to click on that link, guys. And I will see you on the other side. Have a lovely rest of your day. Take care.